All right, is everybody there? We can get started
Well, we really can't. Oh, yes, we can.
because we got the other two. We got Philip and Kevin on here. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So Peter, you want to?
Okay, so the following meeting order. I need a motion to accept the minutes of the April 14th, 2021 meeting. I need,
a move approval.
I can hear. Kevin moved. Okay, so
Philip is
Phil, you
probably,
got a second, because
yeah.
Jim can't vote.
So Phil, you probably got a motion to accept the minutes. I got Kevin Ray and I need one other.
Wait, so who can't vote and why? And it's really hard to hear you guys.
Okay, so Jim can't vote because he wasn't in the meeting and Kevin voted, so we need just one other person that was at the meeting to vote.
Oh, got it. Okay, second.
Okay, thank you.
But it's also really hard to hear Pete and,
Okay, they're probably, because the room's larger on the other side. Can you hear me all right?
yeah, you're great.
Okay, we'll just speak up a little bit then.
All in favor?
Aye,
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Okay. What do we have for our monthly report?
Okay, so for the month of April, we averaged a little more flow just because this time of year we always get infiltration. So we were 3.7 million, max of 4.3. Above 98% on both efficiencies for BOD and TSS. We removed 88% of nitrogen, so that put us 19 pounds under the permit, which this time of year is very good because we typically are way over with the increased flow. Phosphorus was 0.65. Any questions on that report yet?
Public Works Project Engineering Report?
So I included, before I start that, I included two pictures. I have them on the screen. You guys can see them, right? They're also in your packets.
yes,
Okay, so this is, the one picture of the empty tank is the primary tank just with some rainwater in it, but we put mixers in it. You can see the two in there, and that's what keeps the solids in suspension. So typically in the primaries, we settle the solids and remove them. But here we're keeping them suspended in order to ferment them for the food. And that's kind of what I was talking about the past 2 months. So this should give you a better idea of what we're doing. And then in the picture we have of the pump with the white PVC, we're taking the RAS line with all the bugs from the aeration tank and we're returning that to the head of the primary tank. So basically, in a nutshell, it's a tank with a lot of food and microorganisms. And with the report, I added the two graphs. The first one with the yellow line, you can see it going under the permit within a month of us starting that up. And then we were really happy with the FOSS. I include, let me see if I can rotate the screen for you. There we go. So you can see each year we start the FOSS. The second to last week or mid-March, we start the pack for the phosphorus, and you can see it starts to decrease around the same time every year. The difference this year was if you look at the gallons on the right, we are drastically lower. And actually, as of now, we're not adding any pack for phosphorus. So we're hoping that that's going to continue for a while, if not through the summer, if this continues to work the way we're hoping it will. So that's a pretty big cost savings there as well. Flip this back.
Could you explain that? Why would that, how do we save money on this on phosphorus?
Okay, so every year, let me just flip this back again. Sorry, I'm probably making you guys dizzy. So if you see here, the phosphorus chart from 19, 20, and 21, the way we get rid of phosphorus in the most like uncomplicated way is the phosphorus, it binds to the polyaluminum chloride. It's like a coagulant. And then when we waste the sludge out, it is attached to the particles
Okay, so in other words, it's chemicals that we have to add.
to get rid of phos. So what we did was, we have some BioP capability, which is biological phos removal, but with the tank, we're basically doing an increased removal with it. So it's allowing us to, at this point, shut the pack off. So we're not even running any pack at all. So typically where we were spending probably 30 to 50,000 a season, I'm not gonna say we're not gonna use any, but as of right now, it's off completely.
Impact is the chemical?
That coagulates the solids and it attaches to the phos. So.
So this is a 40-day look over the last 3 years.
Yep, so what I did was, let me flip it again. I just took the phosphorus that we, because our permit starts April 1st and goes October 31st, so we typically turn on the chemical mid-March just so we can get to the limit before the day we start.
Right,
And you can see that 6-week or 5-week trend. But the difference is we're lower this year with almost a fifth or a quarter of the chemical.
right,
And if I continue this to today, that 2021 would be zero because the pack is actually, it's been off for 2 weeks at this point. So hopefully it will definitely decrease it. I'm hoping we can actually leave it off, which will be huge.
And what do you attribute it to?
The tank that we did here, so when you see the mixers, instead of getting rid of all the solids, which is where the food is, we're keeping some in there and we're introducing the bugs before the aeration tank to basically consume and do the job twice instead of once.
So is that also, you know, using for the nitrogen as well? Or
It's actually helping both.
so it's the same food?
The bugs, actually, the D-nite bugs and the phosphorus accumulating organisms, they compete. But we have so much food now that I think there's enough to work with both of them.
And it's happened simultaneously?
Yeah.
Okay.
So typically, when you design plants for BioP, you're always competing between the food that the denitrifying organisms eat and what the phosphorus organisms eat. So all we did was put more food in there to try to give them more time to do what they typically would do in the aeration tank. And so far, it's working really well.
And how long will you continue with this?
I would leave that tank like that permanently if it works. Yeah. And basically, we have 3 other tanks. Each tank will do 6 million. So this tank is online, it's full right now. So even with this tank on, you could still run all 4 primaries and you could be doing 24 million gallons here without a problem, which I don't foresee us ever going through. So
well, that's all good news.
yeah, so far so good. I mean, we knew it would work to an extent. It's working better than we thought. So we're gonna keep doing all the data trending and see how it goes. All right, so sewer connection, pump station repairs. We replaced the sump pumps at Allstate and Harlan Road. We also replaced the solenoid for the priming system at the Patrick Flood Pump Station. We replaced the filters and the sensor. We're gonna clean the pump station this month in May. We do it every 3 years. There's no easy way to get in because you have to bypass it and have Nick back clean it, but we're gonna get that done. And we're gonna be painting the West Farm Station as well. We jetted Dorset Lane. We had a call for possible backup. The main line was flowing. We jetted it just out of a courtesy and we contacted Roto-Rooter to help clean the lateral. The Farmington Inn had also called us about a possible backup, but this was in their lateral as well. So as a courtesy, we just jetted under the building and through the parking lot to the road. We continued to jet Hope Farms at Westwoods Golf Course, Dorset Lane, Junior Road, Old Village, Pine Hollow, and Southwest Flyer to the golf course during April. We continued to work on right-of-ways. And then 5 just summarizes what we're doing at Patrick, but I'll have some pictures of that for the next month's meeting.
the Allstate pump, is that the one in Vatican Park Road?
Yeah, it's by the, is it the Bank of America building, I think? Yeah, right there.
No.
Yep.
Boy, do I know that.
We service both compressors in the transfer building. We fabricated an intake. It was sucking in belt dust from the motor, so it dropped the air intake temps 70 degrees, which is good because that building gets warm in the summer. We replaced the auger and the headworks brush. It's a 2-year maintenance item. We replaced the UV driver in April. We had a failure on that. I think it had moisture in it, but it's just typical wear and tear on the system. We put a new oil pump and a motor on blower 3, and we ordered it just to replace it if we need it for a purpose spare. We replaced manhole covers by the dewatering building just to help vent for extra CFM on the odor control system. And we cleaned the grit lines in the primary building.
Excuse me.
Yep.
On the plan itself, do we have any currently punch list kind of thing going on?
You mean like from the upgrade or just stuff?
From the upgrade one?
No, that's pretty much all done.
Because there was a few hiccups here that we were
Working on.
Yeah,
So we have a couple ones that we're working with NIC on, but it's more so, I would say like streamlining or like tweaking things just to make it a little more efficient. A lot of it is like when you get used to how the new plant is running, there's things that we would change or tweak that wouldn't be done originally. So that's kind of what we're finishing now. So number 1 is we added that RAS line, which is that picture I showed you with the pump. And that was what I was explaining for the primary tank and the biological phos and the denitrification. We replaced the batteries in the main generator. And we began working on the finalizing of the blower program. We're not changing the whole thing. We're just making it a little more efficient for how we're running the tanks. And we continue to collect data for the fermentation in the primary and the denite. And that's about it.
You've been pretty busy.
Yeah, that was a busy month, especially with the tank.
So Lamarck, tell me about Westwoods Golf Course. Is the maintenance garage on the sewer there?
No,
No, are you hooking that?
electrician's working out there a lot, but it's not, we actually pump out 2 tanks there because it's just those 2 Wes, right? There's nothing else connected.
We're gonna be running the sewer up there this
Okay.
next couple, 3 weeks. Running the lateral extension over and tying the golf clubhouse, and get ready to go over to the, maintenance garage.
Yeah, right now we just pump everything out that's there.
Okay, but it is hooking up. You were there, Russ? I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were there, Russ. Are you on the phone or are you there?
No, I'm here.
He's here.
Okay, all right. I didn't know that you were on the phone call. Okay, so then you are hooking up the maintenance garage to the sewer?
Yeah, we're probably gonna do that, in the fall or next spring.
Okay,
Just
All right.
because the clubhouse first, that's the more critical need with the kitchen.
right.
We'll be ready to, we're gonna run the sewer up to the sidewalk. And then we won't have enough crews to finish it because we're doing it ourselves with the highway guys.
Yeah,
Later, either later this fall or this time next year, like April next year.
so then what are all the other manhole covers out on the golf course that look like sewer covers that now currently out there?
Yeah, that's the trunk line that comes
Yeah.
through from like Snowberry Cobble and everything heading that way, Tall Timbers, and what's the other short road down there?
Well, then we have the 2 septic tanks out there we do too in the front.
Right, but he's asking about the manholes through the course.
Snowberry,
So then you have also, Kevin, the sewer comes through from like, Route 6 area,
Right, yeah,
Lane, all that comes down to the golf course as well.
okay, yeah. Yep, Inwood and all that stuff coming through there.
The Metro building, Metro apartment building,
Yeah,
Harold, Peggy, Case.
Peggy Lane, yeah, Case,
There,
Yeah.
all, Snowbird or Songbird,
Yeah, it's another.
Songbird, the condos.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, all right. And so that, Well, there's no really additional cooking that's gonna happen at Westwoods. I mean, that you've got the new renovated kitchen in there, but I don't know what you're gonna have for traps for them, but there's no additional cooking from what they had.
No, it's just new equipment with a new grease trap.
Yeah, okay. All right,
For the sanitary sewer and lateral report, we had March and April in here. Main Street had to repair the existing sewer lateral, Bridgehampton Crossing, collected the building permit fee. Coyote Court, same. Lovely Street was repair the existing sewer lateral. Main Street was the addition to St. Patrick's Church. West and Meath Lane was repair of existing sewer lateral. Coyote Court and Farmington Avenue, both fees collected with the building permits. And 784 Farmington Avenue, disconnected lateral, demo the portion of the building and reconnect in the relocated area.
How much of a line is it gonna be if they get that? Apartment complex.
That line's gonna be in.
Yeah, that's done, right?
Yeah, the church extended that, about 5, 6, 8 years ago, something like that.
Oh, what's going to go?
Correct. So the school with the church and all that, they extended that.
Has anybody got any other questions?
no,
Going to executive session.
Yeah, we went motion.
Can we do that?
Got an extra one today. So you want to make a motion, Peter?
I make a motion that we go into executive session. Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Pass.
All right, I think, we think of,
Motion to adjourn?
or is there any, is the next one, any other business from that?
Do we have anything?
Any other business? Motion to adjourn, so moved.